Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. My name is Charlie and I sell handmade polymer clay earrings and accessories on my shop Jarrings. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about starting a polymer clay earring or accessory business. So if you're wondering what polymer clay is, it is a type of clay that you can put in the oven, and once it's been in the oven, it hardens, and then you can turn it into accessories, charms, whatever you like. So to start your business, I would say you need some essential tools to start. I'm going to talk about making earrings just because that's what I do. I also make other accessories as well. You can make things like pins, necklaces, magnets, honestly so many things, but I mainly make earrings, but I do accessories as well. So first up, you obviously need clay. So I use Fimo clay. You can use Sculpey as well. The only one I use is Fimo. I've actually never used Sculpey clay before, but I do want to start using it in the future. I just know that you don't use Sculpey 3 if you want to make earrings. I don't know why, but I've just seen it everywhere in research through the years. I've been doing this 4 years, so in the time doing this, I know not to use that. I have no idea why, just don't. So for Fimo, they have different baking times. I bake it on 110 degrees in my oven for about 50 minutes, but you can do 30. You can't really overcook clay, but you can burn it. So as long as it's on 110 degrees, you won't burn it. If it's on at too much of a high temperature, you can burn the clay, and if it's too low, it isn't going to bake properly. If it doesn't bake properly, it means the earrings could break when they come out of the oven. Oven-wise, you can actually just use your oven at home. That's how I started. I used to use my oven that I used to cook in. Just don't do it at the same time, or give it a bit of break to air out before cooking your food and your earrings. But now I do have an oven in my office, so it just makes it much easier rather than having to go down to the kitchen every hour or so. And it means I can also keep an eye on the oven for the temperature, because ovens can go up and down in temperature, which is why I have a thermostat in there. Make sure I can keep an eye on the temperature, because sometimes you may put an oven at a temperature, but it could change and not be very accurate depending on the oven. And I will let you know now that any supplies I tell you about, I have linked below in the description in my Amazon storefront. So it is an affiliate link. I could get commission on it if you buy anything from there, but I would highly recommend checking it out because I have linked everything that I actually use. So if you want to use something that you know actually works, then it's there for you. Other tools that you will need is an acrylic roller. This is just like a rolling pin, but an acrylic one works better with clay, just to roll out your clay. An upgrade to that is a pasta machine. I use the Atlas 150 and I've got the pink one. I would also recommend that, but I didn't buy that until about a year or two after starting my business. It's not essential, but it is really handy if you can get it. I think it's about 100 to 150 pounds, so they are quite pricey, and an acrylic roller is a couple of quid on Amazon. So it's better just to start with that. A scraper blade will be really helpful for you as well, just to pick up the earrings before they've been baked, because they are fragile and you can easily bend them or disform the shape of it. Pliers you definitely need for jewelry findings. And saying that, you also need some jewelry findings. You can get jump rings, which are the little hoops. You can get hooks, huggies, studs, bore studs, so many different attachments. So it is a fun part of that, actually looking into what you want to use and trialing out gold, silvers, rose gold, whatever you like. And then the only other thing I would really say you would need is cutters. Again, it's not essential, but they are helpful. I got, when I started, like a pack of like round cutters in all different shapes. Again, they are linked in my Amazon storefront. The smallest one you can use for denting holes so that you can put the attachments on the earrings. Bigger ones are good for just trialing out different shapes and stuff. So I would definitely recommend that. And lastly, for tools, I would say a ceramic tile, just to work on. Honestly, don't even try and work on just a normal desk or anything. It's just not going to work for you. The clay will stick to it. It won't work. You'll be able to work with the clay so much better on a ceramic tile. You can get them on Amazon, but you can also get them in like a hardware store for like 99p. You can get a sample tile. I use them. I've got bigger ones, smaller ones. I have a few because I actually bake my earrings on the ceramic tile, which is also a really good tip because it gives the back of the earring a really flat surface. And also it means that when you make the earrings, you don't need to pick them up and put them on a baking tray. For the first 2-3 years of my business, I did actually use like parchment paper, which you can also do if you don't want to buy a ceramic tile. So it doesn't matter. You can just put them them on the parchment paper, but if you bake them on the ceramic tile, it just means that they bake nicer on there, basically. I like to do that, and also I have a few ceramic tiles so that when one's in the oven, I can carry on working on other earrings while they're in the oven. Those sort of supplies are definitely like essentials if you're making polymer clay. If you want to buy more, you can get more cutters, stuff like that. I absolutely love buying cutters. I would definitely recommend any businesses over on Etsy. That is like where I get 99% of my cutters. The rest will be small businesses, but they're direct websites instead of Etsy. But I would definitely recommend small businesses for your cutters. They make them themselves. They sometimes throw in freebies as well, but they just have more unique ones that you can get, which help with your creativity and like designs as well. If you're selling earrings, you'll want to get some earring backs to put the earrings on. I actually design my own and get them printed. If you want to see a video on that, I'm happy to do a full tutorial and telling you how to do that, because I remember, I think it was about a year into my business, I started making my own, and I was really struggling on how to do it. I was really struggling to figure it out. I did finally figure it out myself, but there were like no really videos on that, to be honest. I don't know if there are now because I haven't searched it, but I'm more than happy to make a full tutorial on how I design them, where I get them printed, how much they are, what sizes you need for them, and how to drill the holes in them. I can do a full video on that, so let me know in the comments if you want to see that. Earring backs are definitely an essential if you're making earrings. Again, I design my own, but you can get some plain ones on Amazon. You can get some different coloured ones, you can get marble ones, stuff like that. Anything that sort of represents your branding, I would definitely recommend getting some from Amazon when you start. Now, if you're looking to actually start your business, you'll want some packaging as well. Again, I get most of mine from Amazon. I use pink packaging boxes in loads of different sizes. To be honest with you, pink or any coloured boxes are way more expensive than just white or brown. I would recommend getting white or brown to start. I think I got white to begin with, and then I ended up getting pink, and I just love them. These are my pink ones. I just think they're really cute. They match my branding really well. You can also get packaging tape. You can't really get cute packaging tape on Amazon, if I'm honest with you. I would again go to Etsy for small businesses for that one. I get autumnal ones, I get Christmas ones, so I get seasonal ones as well, and they're not too expensive. Then if you're packaging up earrings or any sort of handmade accessory like polymer clay earrings, accessories, jewelry, I would recommend getting some shredded tissue paper. Now, I know some people use bubble wrap and stuff like that. I just like to use shredded tissue paper and fill up the parcels. Just make sure you've got some below and above your items in your package and box them up so that they are nice and sturdy in the parcels. For shipping labels, I would recommend using a thermal printer, although I didn't get this for about a year into my business, I would say. I actually started in my garage, so I didn't really have much electricity down there. I don't think I had any actually, so it was just literally a light and that was it. So there were no plugs or anything, so I didn't have a thermal printer for at least a year. I used to just get little labels and write addresses on them, or I would just literally write the address on the box and then go to the post office. So that is one way of doing it. If you've got like the budget straight away to get a thermal printer, I would recommend it. Again, it is in my storefront, linked in my description, but you can get loads of different ones. The one I got was about £150. Then you just buy the labels. But the good thing about a thermal printer is you never need to buy ink. So it is a good investment because you won't need to buy ink. Again, you won't need to go to the post office either, because if you print your own labels, you can just throw it straight in the post box, or even get Royal Mail to come and collect it for you. But again, this is not essential when you're beginning your business. This is more for like when you develop into your business and you've got the budget to actually do that. But if you're just starting up and you're not sure if it's gonna go well, if you're even gonna get any sales, especially if you've been doing it as a hobby, some people do their hobby full time and then actually hate it, or do it as a job and then feel like it's like a chore. So I wouldn't recommend buying too much at the beginning. Just the essentials, like I said at the beginning. Something else you might see when watching tutorials and stuff, which I really got roped into when I started, was glazing your earrings. This isn't essential. Polymer clay earrings do not need to be glazed. They're absolutely fine as they are. I always thought it was essential when I started, so I spent a lot of money on different glazes. I got polyurethane, UV resin, Mod Podge. I got so many different things and nothing was working for me. I got loads of different sprayed ones as well. I ended up using polyurethane for a little while, and then I just realized that I didn't really need it. Some designs I did want it to be glazed because I liked the shine on it, but most of the time you don't really need it. Don't worry about that at the beginning. If you want that shinier look and you do want to glaze them, then of course you can. The best one I've ever used is UV resin. You do need a UV light for that, and of course the resin. You also do need to get PPE for it. Please do that. get PPE. You need a mask. It's about £15 on Amazon, and you need some gloves. To be honest, sometimes I don't wear gloves, I'll be honest, but I've never had any problems. But I would never use it without a mask. And open your windows as well, make sure it's ventilated, just because I know it can be toxic. I don't know if UV one is, but just be safe. The finish when you use resin is really nice. I'll put some earrings on the screen of ones that I've used resin with. Using resin takes a lot more time. It does take a bit of time to get used to it as well. If it drips off the edges, it ruins your piece. If you don't put enough on, it also ruins your piece. You can get air bubbles in it. There's a lot of a learning curve with that as well. So when you're starting off, don't worry about glazing them. You just don't need it. And that is about it for this video, to be honest. If you have any other questions or you think I've missed something, let me know in the comments and I will help you. I was gonna touch on some things like making a logo, where to sell your products, stuff like that, but I think that could be in a different video. So if you do want to see a video on just starting a business in general from the beginning, such as the logo, branding, colors, where to sell your items, things like that, then do let me know again in the comments and I will help you with that as well. I hope this was really helpful. I've gave you a lot of tips and tricks on this one, so hopefully it's useful. Let me know what you think and I shall see you in the next one. Bye guys, and make sure you subscribe.